I've hodled 520, now what? Okay, so you've bought your first $500 of Bitcoin, you've moved it to a secure wallet, and you've made a commitment to yourself to hold it for 20 years. Now what? What is the next step? What do I do? A couple things. First, let's talk about this. Let's buy more Bitcoin, all right? Buying more Bitcoin is it's gonna expand the benefit you'll get, obviously, because you're buying more. So you continue to buy Bitcoin. Now, it doesn't mean that you only buy Bitcoin. We'll talk about that in a minute, but continue to buy it. Continue to buy a small percentage of it. And another video down the road, I'll go into more like what percentages you might want to buy. But I would say for now, to keep things simple, you would want to buy about 1 to 10% of whatever money you set aside each month, each week, however, whatever your cycle of recurring investment is. I would say set aside 1 to 10% of that to go into Bitcoin. If you're totally head over heels in love with Bitcoin and you think this is the thing, go 10% for right now. That's a safe place to go. And I'll talk about that again in another video where we talk about how much should you invest in Bitcoin. And we'll also use that in terms of like what other very successful investors do and how they look for things called uncorrelated investments or uncorrelated bets, where they want to be invested in several different things and continue to get a return, but not have those things tied to each other. So if there's a big crash, everything's affected all at once. So we'll get into that more in another video, but that is something you want to concern. So what is the second thing you should be doing besides continuing to buy or invest 1 to 10% of your money of your investment money into Bitcoin? That would be buy other investments, all right? And the next thing that I would say, if you haven't already done so, if you are someone who is looking to get started investing, you don't have a lot of experience, you don't have a lot of knowledge, I would say the next step that you should do, and I will have a series of videos on this as well, and we'll put a link to it as soon as they're available from this video in the details. But I would say open up a Vanguard account and start to buy index funds. Just leave that at high level for right now, but I will put, like I said, a video together with more information on that. But you do want to start investing in other assets as well. You want to have a good pool of assets. Now, if you plan to be a Warren Buffett type investor, you can go and put, like Warren and other people who've been extremely successful, they like to put all their eggs in one basket and watch it really close. That's fine. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. Even if you watch videos with Warren Buffett, he will say that, yeah, I don't spend that much time doing this, but he spends way more time than you do doing this. Than 99% of the people out there, he spends way more time. Not only that, but he has spent way more time doing this. He has a long history of studying these things and seeing cycles and seeing patterns and understanding financial statements and knowing what a company is really doing, knowing what questions to ask. Now, most of us aren't at that level yet, so putting all our eggs in one basket and watching it really closely isn't going to be the best strategy for the majority of people out there. But buying index funds is, all right? Buying index funds, there's very few people that over time have been able to beat the return of like an S&P 500 index fund. And we'll talk more about what that is in another video, but get this simple step right now. So step number 1, after you've hodled 520, buy more Bitcoin, buy 1 to 10%, make that recurring buy and move it to your wallet, to your secure wallet regularly. And step number 2, if you haven't already done so, open up a Vanguard account. There's a specific reason why I recommend Vanguard, and I'll go into that in other videos, but they work for you, not against you, like almost every other brokerage out there that I'm aware of. And then you want to invest in index funds. Again, there's very specific reasons for that, but for right now, let's just say the most important reason is very few people have ever beaten index funds or an index of stocks over time. Even Warren Buffett says he doesn't always do it, other people as well. But there are a few who've done it, but they're very different from the rest of us. They've spent a lot of time working on this. And the funny thing is, even those who have spent their lives working on this, the majority of them don't beat the indexes over time. So that's it. Again, to recap, I've hodled 520. Now what I do, buy more Bitcoin. If you're buying more Bitcoin, open up a Vanguard account and start to invest in index funds. There'll be more steps beyond that, but that is where you want to start after you've hodled 520.